Hey, thanks for listening into the Real Estate Center audio experience. I am so excited today because today is the launch of Season 2, Episode 1 that I had to bring out the rest of the team. So I have Simeon Papalius, you all know him, aka Simos, my partner in crime and business partner for a little over a decade. You also know Laura Stewart, our executive producer. How are you doing today, Laura?
I'm doing well.
Simeon, how are you doing?
Hello, everybody. Hello.
So like I said, super stoked about, just starting out with episode 1 of season 2 to take a quick little tour back through season 1. We had 17 episodes and we capped it off with the CEO of Royal LePage Canada, and he took us around Canada and spoke about the major cities and what's happening in the market there. And what else did we have last season? Laura?
Well, we had a lot of people that we brought in from our all-star team. So a lawyer, mortgage broker.
Simeon, you came on this first episode. How's the market? We titled that actually Even in the Washroom, because we always get that question in the washroom.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, the podcast launch last year was huge. I think you tried to hit as many faces of real estate as you could, and I think you did a wonderful job at it. So I think this second season is going to be no different. So I think I've seen some of the guest lineup that you're trying to put together.
Yeah.
Super impressive. It's a secret. I think it's going to be.
We're not going to tell everybody everything. Yeah, you can't let that out. For our friends who are watching on video, hi. We are sitting on a boat here at Harbourfront Centre in Toronto, and so we thought, with the weather and we're just in the middle of July, we thought we'd come out and do this kind of outside, and we have beer from our friends here next door at Amsterdam Brewery, testing out their one of their beers. Today we're testing out the beer 3 Speed. What do you guys think about it?
I like it. It's light, so it's kind of.
I don't know if they want to hear, but it is kind of like a Coors Light. It's pretty light.
Yes,
They
don't want that to be the case. I'm sure.
I was just going to say that though. It tastes very similar to Coors Light.
It's a nice light brew.
Which I like kind of in the summer, right? On a hot day.
Yeah. You can drink a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, today is actually very hot, so it's very hot and humid in Toronto today.
Yeah.
So we're probably at 32 degrees right now. And,
Yeah. A lot of humidity.
Yeah, but the breeze is nice on the water, and I mean we've been parked down here at the Harbourfront for a couple of years now.
Yeah, so it's been about 2 years that we've been lucky enough to have our boat, and a lot of our friends and clients have been out with us, and the ones that haven't, you'll be obviously hearing and getting an invitation soon, because we do spend a lot of time here working out of here, brainstorming, strategizing, and some of the ideas that have come out are quite exciting, like Simeon mentioned about this season that we're going to be recording. But I also thought it would be kind of cool, because we've taken off 4 weeks now to allow some space and be creative. But what I thought is, we got a lot of questions like, what have you guys been up to for the last 4 weeks? So I don't know, tell me, Simos, what have you been up to, man? What have you been doing? I know, selling real estate, that's something that we do on a day-to-day, and we take meetings and stuff, but I want to hear a little bit about what you've been up to with the family, man.
Well, it's been a very intense time, both in business and in family life. I mean, it's the summer, so the kids are off school. With the kids off school, it kind of really puts some pressure on the schedules to be around.
I've been lucky enough to be in that pool with you in the backyard. How's that treating you?
It's fantastic. I mean, the weekend was nice. It was perfect pool weather, so I spent the majority of the time in the pool with the kids. My kids are little dolphins, so they're in there literally from 9 a.m. after breakfast till 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So the only breaks that there are is the barbecue. So again, it forces you to relax, which is nice. But
for listeners that don't know, what's the ages of Sophia and Gabriel?
My daughter is 5.5. She's going to be 36 in December, and Gabriel just turned 3.
So are they in camps or anything? Did you take them out, or what do you do?
They are, but at the same time, I tried to limit the camps and try for us to force ourselves to spend some more time at home.
It'll toughen our business, though.
It makes it tough. It makes it really intense. But again, I had my daughter at the St. Joseph camp, because she was in Catholic school, so she was part of the parish there, and so she went to that camp.
Shout outs to Caroline, Sony, and John, our significant others, and holding the forts down and helping and supporting as they do. So thank you guys.
No doubt about that.
Laura, yourself, I know you have exciting news. You bought and picked up a new car in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, just recently got a new car.
What'd you get?
I got a Land Rover Discovery. I said bye to my
The baller.
Yeah. It was a sad day to see my other car go.
How long did you have that?
For 4 years.
Okay.
4 years, and I had just finished my MBA when I got that car. Just got married. Just started with you guys.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of good times in that car.
Cool. And I know you got you went all out with this new SUV.
Yeah.
You got the package that you wanted.
It's all blacked out.
That's so cool.
Feeling a little thuggish.
Do you like being higher up? Like, is that a thing? I'm not an SUV driver. I know Simeon is, but you're like, does it make a difference?
It does,
Okay.
especially when I think you're my height. So I'm just over 5 feet, so I can't see much of anything anywhere at any time. So any height I can get is good.
That's cool.
It's good, yeah.
Talking about the humidity, Simeon, I know we need to talk about the new venture we just kind of got into. I'm gonna let you talk about it more because this was your idea, and you and I being together for the last decade, I generally jump on as you jump on my ideas. But talk about Nez and this new ice cream shop.
Yeah, so we've had like literally hundreds of people throw direct questions over the social media, text messages. What are you guys doing? Are you guys insane? Because, so for those
we are. Let's answer.
Yes,
So the answer is yes. So for those who don't know, we did open up an ice cream parlor right across the street from City Hall in downtown Toronto. It's called Nez Yum Yum is what it's called. It has a funky little name.
What's our mascot?
The mascot, it was actually, we were going after that kind of Japanese anime cartoon thing, and all you see when you search and for inspiration on those types of things is pandas, little anime characters.
Yeah.
But we're in Toronto. Like, what do we do with this Japanese? Like, nobody's Japanese. There's no Japanese theme to this ice cream shop.
Right.
We're not serving matcha or any of those charcoal ice cream, etc. We're going down straight gelato.
Okay.
Straight Toronto. Toronto's a classic. I mean, Toronto's been around forever. It has its own little history. So we thought the coolest thing about Toronto is the fact that raccoons have their own Instagram. So,
The Toronto raccoon.
if you know anything about Toronto, I mean, as a citywide infestation, the raccoon is it. If you dare leave
We're
your
so
garbage
bad.
yeah. So I mean, that's our city. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a $1 trillion compound in Forest Hill, or if you live in an apartment anywhere in the city. You leave a can open, guess what? Next morning, cans are flipped up upside down.
Listen, I'm not just saying it because I saw you go through the designing of the Rupert is his name.
Rupert is his name.
He has to be the cutest raccoon I've ever seen.
He is the cutest raccoon ever, and I mean, if we're gonna be putting links up for you guys to click and check it out, and as well as we're gonna be adding some edits to the video where I'm sure they're on the screen right now.
Yeah.
But he's pretty cute, and the reason behind this all came, and why does it have to do with real estate? Why is it coming up today? And why did so many people ask? All the people that we work with are all real estate investors. So it's not like they're so curious as to why we open an ice cream shop. It's like, how does that fit in your business? We are the #1 selling team in all of Toronto. So the city of Toronto, we're the busiest brokers there is. As far as the team is concerned, we're 25 of us selling real estate all over the Greater Toronto area. So we're pretty busy. What were we thinking of opening a little ice cream shop? It's not for that. I was on a golf course. I was at a charity tournament. Benefiting sick kids back on June 15th, 2018. And
So not too long ago.
that's exactly a month and 5 days ago.
Yeah.
This place was one of my listings, to be perfectly honest. So somebody listed the space for rent.
Yep.
It's a AAA location. My background is Greek. Obviously, many of you know that Greeks are really big into restaurants, including my very own family. We still have restaurants operated by my little brother out west in Alberta, but I mean, restaurants are a big part of my life. So I hang out with, the Greeks that I hang out with are typically all restaurateurs.
Well, you guys do the best lamb in the world, essentially. So
That's what
I'll
I'm
give you
talking
that.
about.
You and I go back and forth, and I tell you.
And
that
if any Italians want to talk about this, we can always talk about it.
I tell you that the Indian foods are, they're awesome, but I give you the lamb. You guys do the lamb on the spit better than anyone I know. So continue.
So that's good. So we're on the golf course. I have this listing. It's kind of urgent that the guy had to move out of there. So I thought to myself, we're sitting here golfing. My buddy who owns a significant, he's the operator and one of the partners at a nightclub downtown.
Lounge. Yeah.
And I was with him and I was like, what do you think of this location? I know he was kind of looking around for more opportunities, etc. And of course, he's extremely busy with what he's doing. His wife is getting into her own practice. Everybody wants to, capture more.
Right.
So I'm like, I have this little location right now. and I love it.
Yeah.
Like when you have a AAA site, the ice cream shop is located. This is City Hall, Nathan Phillips Square.
Yep.
This is the Sheraton. These are the doors to the Sheraton, and that's our ice cream shop.
For our listeners, it's right.
It's
beside.
it's in the actual heart of the city. So it doesn't get any more downtown than Nathan Phillips Square.
Yeah.
So
In fact, if you like on social media and Google, if you Google the Toronto sign, we're essentially right across the street from there.
not as, we are right across the street from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So Toronto sign, Nez. It's
So again, I mean, everyone's heard it. Location, location, location. So that obviously.
and that's also why we had to do something so Toronto.
Yes.
Because like we're thinking like this is grand central of all tourism to the city. Nobody comes to Toronto doesn't take a picture at the Toronto sign. So we're thinking we can't have a panda bear represent Toronto. It's going to be the raccoon, and that's how the raccoon came about, Little Rupert, and that's how the ice cream shop came. And this was a joint venture, so it's not like either myself or Jas are scooping ice cream, because that would be obviously not realistic with what we do for a living. But we did join forces with a tremendous operator, a guy who's been in the business for 20 years, knows client care like nobody.
Yeah.
And our other partner, of course, operationally and cost control, all the serious components of the business are taken care of. We did the real estate, and of course we have our own experience managing a pretty big operation.
That's what excited me, right? Because it allowed us to be investors.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of our listeners have read through, and some of you have even been to the courses of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki's 4 quadrants. And that one quadrant that you really need to get to as soon as you possibly can is the investor quadrant, because what you're able to do is quite simply invest money. In this specific scenario, we're not operating it, we're not in the day-to-day of it, and it allows us to get a return on our investment while we still do what we love to do, which is record podcasts, do videos, and sell real estate, you know, and meet people one-on-one. So that was really neat, and this all came and all happened within 25, 30 days.
Yeah, so I mean, we all have different business experiences. I've been in that business my whole life.
Yes.
So I'm no stranger to it.
It was the
so
only reason I got in.
Right. It's not like we're doing nothing.
Yeah.
But on the same token, you're not operating. You're not the day-to-day operator.
Yeah.
You're sitting at a high level strategizing on what promotions and what kind of courses you see fit.
Yeah.
And we didn't do an ice cream shop for the sake of doing a single ice cream shop.
Yeah.
This is probably the best testing ground, like as far as an incubator / lab.
Lab. Yeah.
It's the most forgiving. It's full of tourists. So if one client has a bad experience, what can you do to fix it?
Yeah.
You can test different strategies. The market is so diverse and typically higher income because everybody there is there on disposable income. It's 80% tourists in Nathan Phillips Square during the day.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Yep.
So you have a higher income. You can hit them with different promotions. You can hit them with different products, services, looks, and it's very forgiving. As opposed to going to an established neighborhood, you come out the wrong way, you're finished. So this was it was a strategic move for us to potentially get into a hospitality business, test the ground, and potentially, if it works, we could have 5 locations in no time. Because how many of our joint venture partners in other locations would throw a couple $100,000?
For sure.
It's a no-brainer. So it's a good testing ground as far as why we did it. That's kind of why we did it. It's a perfect location, very small, best AAA retail, and we can go to bat with anything.
While that was happening, we were also renting simultaneously. So again, we are insane a little bit. We were renting out approximately 22 units for our investors that purchased in River City 3.
And kudos to all our support staff for their relentless efforts.
Alla, who's been managing it, and Tyler, specifically them two, who have been running around and making sure that all of our clients were given the turnkey investment that we offer anyone who purchases an investment property with us. Yes, it's a shameless plug, but I have to say it. Anytime you purchase a property with us, we do not only rent it out for you for the first 1 or 2 years, but we also manage it for you. But the neat thing is that it's come full circle this time. Within the last 30 days, we've been renting out 22 units, and one of them happened to be ours, and that's why I wanted to bring that up, because it was kind of neat. We had a lot of different ideas, and Laura, you were in those meetings with Simeon and I when we were thinking about can we possibly do with the unit that we already have at River City 3?
We got really excited a few times.
Yeah, so we
Well,
thought
we're always looking for highest and best use.
highest and best use. I love that term.
Yeah.
And we were thinking about turning that into a full studio to do all of our recordings for the videos for YouTube channel as well as podcasts, and kind of having another satellite office in downtown Toronto. After, why don't you guys talk about that a little bit? Because we were all kind of going back and forth. I know, I was quite pro on it when we originally came up with the idea, but I think it just made more sense to essentially just do it at one of our office locations at Shops in Don Mills.
So I don't think it's 100% finalized.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the end of the day, does it make sense to dedicate so much assets, time, and energy to a third location? Like, when we're already spread so thin, like, obviously we know how busy we are and how demanding our schedules are. Do we put another location on our to-do list? So yes, it would be centralized with top-notch equipment. It doesn't move and it's easy there,
Yeah,
but then we
good
have to
location.
get there. As opposed to, for example, if we're all at the Don Mills location in Toronto's northeast, or if we're at Mississauga, we can easily get together. We don't have to all stop what we're doing, go and shoot, and have to come back.
And I think from a podcast perspective, what we've been talking about is maybe the ability to provide more value to our listeners is doing podcasts more frequently, or some shorter, some longer. So this will give us kind of that flexibility, because if somebody walks into our office that we think might be an interesting person to interview, then we'll just pull them in a room there.
Into the room and kind of record, and this way we don't have to focus a lot on necessarily creating content. We're just kind of documenting what we've been doing, and that's really what our ideas are for the second season, which is just documenting more of what we do as we're doing it. As our friends on video see, we had meetings here set today on the boat, and we figured, hey, we're all together while we wait. We're waiting for a mortgage broker friend of ours, and while we wait, why don't we just record
That's right.
what we've been up to? So it's going to be a lot more of documenting what's happening aside from creating content. Going back to River City 3, I also found it interesting with our specific unit, because as we were going back and forth, the other stuff we were throwing on the whiteboard was perhaps using it as an Airbnb. And once we took a look over the condo documents, we quickly found out that the minimum requirements for a rental is 6 months. And so it was neat, and the reason I bring it up, because we really want to show our listeners, what the process we go through with our own investment opportunities and our portfolio. And so again, we were thinking about making it into an Airbnb, and obviously legislation is going to change in the next couple of months with the mayor coming out with new rules. But more importantly, the actual condo documents didn't allow for it.
That's right. So whether legislation comes in or not, it's irrelevant to the condo corporation. If you guys go back audio and video series, you're going to find probably a couple of key pieces. One of them was a big rant of mine on Facebook Live there, where I talked about Airbnb when all this stuff was coming down the pipe. The reason this is in the condo docs is very simply put, there's a lot of owners in that building, and they don't want transient in-out traffic out of their building. The only way to fight it is to impose a 6-month minimum tenancy.
Yeah.
There is an Airbnb for 6 months.
Yeah.
Airbnb is 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, 2 weeks.
It runs like a hotel, right?
It's like a hotel.
Yeah.
So the minute that the bylaws dictate that there is only a 6-month clause, that includes all short-term rentals, which is a normal tenancy to an executive or to a family that's renovating their home, etc., to your regular proper housing that is up for rent.
Yeah.
But nobody, and we're seeing this trend really started to take off. Most higher end condominiums across the entire province, not just our city, are starting to implement little bylaw changes, taking Airbnb out of the picture and giving all the residents an opportunity to feel comfortable in their buildings.
And I don't disagree with that either, right?
Whether you disagree or not.
Yeah, I like it because it does keep the reputation of the building, as well as the fit and finishes, keeps them better for longer term. And it's now kind of the reason why now it's, our condo is up for rent as we speak, and we're just going to go through the regular process of renting it out for a year. It's approximately a little over 500 square feet. We're putting it up for rent for 1975. Just it goes to show you what kind of rents you're getting. in downtown Toronto. The vacancy rates are still under 1%. We're seeing tons of multiple offers on rentals as well. Yes, you heard that right. Multiple offers.
Yeah, if you want to talk
rentals.
a little bit about the market, the stats that just came out.
Well, we are a real estate center audio experience. We do want to give some stats, so why don't you go into that?
So just on rent alone, because this is obviously one of the biggest key factors on any condo purchase or pre-construction condo purchase. Year over year, we just hit the 11% mark, which is unheard of in Toronto real estate. It's almost at 350 to 375 a square foot, depending on which little pocket you're in. And that supports purchase prices as where they are today, because people are starting to say, "Oh, it's unaffordable." It's everything goes hand in hand.
There's still a lot of affordable real estate in the city. It's the old adage, right? Or I should say, sorry. The question that we get is who's buying all these condos that are coming up. We all know the stats. You can easily find it on Immigration Canada. Over 100,000 people are coming into the city year over year for the next 10 years. That means essentially 40,000 households are needed.
Yeah, so
right?
let's just talk quickly about it. Let me just stop you. Because when our clients bought these 3 years ago and 4 years ago, they bought at a certain price per square foot. And they also, when we gave them our guarantee of what we're going to rent them for, it wasn't 1,900 that it is today.
Yeah.
We were telling people 1,600, 1,650.
Yep.
And it was cash flow neutral or small into the positive. At this point, with such monumental growth, record growth year over year at 11% for rent, and if anybody thinks rental is going down, you have another thing coming.
Well, just supply and demand, right?
No, but rents have never gone down.
Yeah.
Rents don't go down.
Yeah.
Prices can go up and down. If anybody can show me a market where rents came down, as a whole, please do, because I've been in this business for just well over 10 years.
It'll be ice cream on us if you do.
Ice cream on us if you. Hey, I'll bet you a coffee.
Yeah, I'll bet you a coffee.
No, but rents don't go down. And as the market takes on more pressure, whether it slows down or not is a different question, but they don't come down. So at this point in 1950, every single one of our clients is cash flowing $200-300 a month. $200-300 a month in downtown Toronto.
Yep.
So it's not a question if, what, where, and how is this going to happen. The purchaser who's going to go through our process and buy a condo today, if the market performs at half the rent appreciation, 5% year over year, 3% year over year, they're going to be cash flow positive when they close this condominium that they're buying at $1,200 a square foot. And that's just the way it is.
Well, and the majority of the condos that are coming up now, even at that $1,200 a square foot kind of range, you're seeing much better fit and finishes now. You're seeing a lot of high-end product come out because our city craves it. We're rated in the top 1, 2, 3 every single year as the most safest city and most, the best livable cities to live in. We have obviously 3-4 major sports teams here. So the athletes, we have a lot of actors that, yes, they have homes in Hollywood.
North.
And it's exactly that. I mean, it's been dubbed Hollywood North for a while now.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see finally again the full circle of some of our investors closing on the units that they purchase, it being all fully
and the
rented
stats
for
not
them.
only supporting what we've been advocating for so long, but making us humbled by what we've promised. So it's obviously good news. It's the right way. It went. Call it luck, call it the market, call it economic conditions globally. Toronto has been marked as a safe haven for people to put their money. We have become a real asset class in real estate. People are coming here to invest in real estate. These are from the words of one of our trusted strategic partners at Greybrook, Sasha, where when he came and did a presentation, he explained to an audience of 75 high net worth investors exactly what's happening in the city, and kind of they have their finger on the heartbeat all day. And he explained what Toronto has really become and where we're headed. And from all indicators, all senses lead to one way, and that's to growth. We're definitely going to take that advice until I hear from somebody more credible than some of these guys that we interview all the time. I would definitely agree wholeheartedly.
Well, yeah, I mean, the basics are very, very strong here. Laura, I want you to talk a little bit about, in the last 30 days, we just finished our book, and you were very, very...
It's been busy.
I don't forget these things, guys.
It's been busy.
There was a book, yes. Well, the book took a little more than the four weeks that we had off. We've been working on that for a couple months now. Again, on our off time or whatever, whenever we have a couple minutes to spare. It's dubbed the Real Estate Intelligence, and it should be ready and printed in the next week.
What can readers expect?
So essentially,
get out the book?
it's really a guide to help people just looking for more information on buying, selling, and of course investing in real estate. We take a look at a high-level approach to it, and kind of it's, you know, we really tried to make it easy for people to read and understand and not sugarcoat anything, but at the same time show that this is possible for a lot of people.
And so, as you were mentioning, it's going to be ready as of this recording. It's ready. You can order it. You know how to get a hold of us. Call us, email us, smoke signals, the usual stuff. We'll make sure we send over a copy to you as an REC insider. You will receive it for free. And if you're not an insider, make sure you become one by going to recinsiders.com. This will be on the shelves at Chapters as well online on Amazon. But if you're just an REC insider, just get in touch with us. We'll make sure we mail out a copy.
And we are going to be working with a charity. It is yet to be finalized, but obviously our insiders always get everything free of charge. But as you all know, we always go the extra mile to try to put something together and give something back to the community that has given all of us so much. So I believe you're going after either...
There's Dyslexia Canada as well as First Book Canada, and that will all be finalized as this.
So once that's finalized, whether you got the book or not, always reach out to us. We'll tell you how to contribute to our effort. We're going to be kind of, whether we give away a book or sell a book, it doesn't matter. All proceeds from this, bar the cost, I believe, is going straight to the charity.
Going straight to the charity. We want to, people that are not as fortunate as us, as you mentioned, Simeon, we want to try to do the most that we can and help them. So get in touch with us, get a copy of our book. There's a lot of good content, and sometimes there's people who bought and sold a home 10-15 years ago. Essentially the basics haven't changed, but you just need reminders, right?
Some strategies have changed.
Yeah, some strategies have definitely changed. I mean, stagers wasn't a big thing back, a decade ago, but now there's tips. We've essentially put dedicated a full section to the book to teach you how to sell your home on your own.
Sure.
Because we really come from the perspective of give everything away, all of our knowledge, trade secrets, and so forth, and hope that if you're looking into getting in touch with somebody and wanting some expert advice, we're here. If not, we hope that we've given you enough value through our books, podcasts, and videos. What else, guys? What else has been up?
You over there.
What about me? What have I done?
You've been busy.
Yes, I had a wedding, a big wedding actually, my cousin's wedding, that had a little over 500 people. For anyone,
small little wedding.
A small little wedding. And
only lasted a couple hours. Right?
Yeah, it does.
For an Indian,
it goes for about 5 days. So the liver didn't thank me through that 5 days, but. It's my younger cousin, and she got married, and it's kind of neat because all the families got together, and it is a 5-day kind of event. It was a blast. I was with the kids, obviously, trying to spend as much time as I possibly can with them, and then making sure that deals are happening. That's kind of what I like to focus on.
Keep the lights on, baby.
Keep the lights on, and so in the last 30 days, I'm proud to say we've been flirting with a little over 12 to 13 deals that have been in contract, and that's something that's very good in terms of what numbers we like to hit. Our broader team.
Congrats to our clients.
Yeah, congrats to our clients because you're getting in, some of them are just buying their first home. Some are, what we like to call smart sizing into bigger or smaller homes. And then obviously, we work with a lot of investors.
And they're also taking advantage. The volume's down almost 30% right now because it is the summertime. So half the city's sleeping or on vacation.
And they're not out to actually look at properties.
That's right.
A lot of people forget
so our guys are going out there, and instead of us having to put 6 offers in to get one property, we're putting in 1 or 2, and it's happening nice and quick, and it's for prices exactly. The average stats on the Toronto Real Estate Board speak exactly to our deals.
Yeah.
So just over 800, 807, 808,000 for detached.
Yeah.
So our average transaction.